Dear youth leaders, before the break, we had a relook at some wonderful moments from our journey. What would be more befitting than to listen to a keynote speech from the very leader who has committed himself to the cause of developing more responsible leaders in this society? A champion speaker, past Division L governor, Division E and L conference chairman, and an internationally acclaimed speaker in the corporate world. He is none other than our beloved DTM Uncle Peri. Please help me welcome on stage, DTM Peri.
Respected, can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Respected District 79 Director DTM James, District 79 Director-elect, my dear friend DTM Hassan Magazine, Program Quality Director DTM Abdul Ghaffur, CGD DTM Omar Farouk, Division D Director, all the Division Directors, the array of District 79 leaders, the YLP coordinators, and all the entire team of elite Toastmasters who have put in so much of passion, commitment, and energy which is so visible to all. And wonderful parents, moms and dads, and my gems close to my heart, youth leaders. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. And before I say anything, I must admit that it is an absolutely fulfilling sight to see the front rows occupied by the wonderful leaders of District 79. And Toastmasters know a lot about it. Toastmasters in a way are little boring people, especially with your permission, especially for the non-Toastmasters. The parents must be really wondering what these guys are doing. And every time they come, they start, they greet, they shake hands, they give flowers, they know each other. They must have met yesterday in the market and they come and give flowers today. Does it come to your mind? We can be honest, come on. If I were in your position, I can see some of the ladies being more honest. They are smiling and nodding. Okay, it's nothing. But why do we do what we have just done, and why we always keep doing what we do? Is, all these people, the district leaders who are all here, many of them are traveling from Riyadh. What do they have? Why do they have to travel? They don't stand to gain anything at all. Some of them are traveling from Dammam and Kubar. This is not part of my keynote speech, but I think it is part of my human value to really acknowledge what I'm just now talking to you. All these wonderful leaders, including the Division E, Division L, all the division leaders, people coming from Aramco, Kubar, Dammam, Jubail, little far away from Jubail. Why do they have to do what they are doing? Is they just need to come. They want to sit and they are just enjoying encouraging. And to encourage people, they are spending their money, their time, and everything. I think that is why they deserve what they deserve. They are all living examples of the term, of the definition of leadership. Leadership is nothing but service. Leadership is not a position, leadership is not a title, it's not a keynote, by the way. But leadership is service, and they are standard examples. They are the living examples of doing what they are doing. And it is very difficult to be, and once you get into this mode, it's very difficult to come back. And thank you all for honoring us, for honoring Elite Toastmasters Club. And on behalf of Elite Toastmasters Club, our dear youth leaders, you are here to support all of us. And once again, I would like every one of you to give a big round of applause for their presence. I don't remember to have seen this before. There are senior Toastmasters sitting here, the current district director and the district director-elect, and their army of leaders sitting here for a YLP program grand finale. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to focus on the more interesting people than Toastmasters, if you will allow me, the youth leaders. Toastmasters, can I speak about them? Okay, youth leaders. How are you all? Some of you are looking a little nervous. You're a little away from me, unlike what you are there in the regular meetings. Okay? But You are looking little nervous, and I'm looking at your faces. I know you've all gone through grueling preparations, hard work, and you're all waiting to present your evaluations, table topics, and international speeches. Are you nervous? Yes and no. I think some of you are saying no. I can also see in the face yes. Right? It's okay. I will only advise you one thing. Just don't be nervous. Just switch off that nervousness and try to tune into this evening. You may be thinking, Uncle Peri, it's much easier said than done. But what do you have to gain by being nervous? You have done all the preparations that you have to do. Nothing is going to make a difference between now and the time you're going to be on the stage. That is reason number one. So don't be nervous. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy. A lot of colorful audio visuals are waiting for you before the contest starts. Okay. And second reason, as elite Toastmasters and our youth leaders, we know that every one of you, the 26 gems that we are talking about, every one of you is going to leave an impact on the stage today. You may or may not go with the trophy, but you will go with the great impact that you leave in every one of our heart. So you will all be wonderful. So I want you to relax, will you? Now let's have the reason I'm here is just to have a very quick chat with you, and I'm going to share something with you. All from this program, again for distinguished Toastmasters, the reason why we have made it as a custom, DTM James, why we do this, we just want to share with you what are the experiences that we go through in this elite YLP. And it has always been, every time we go through, it's been a more and more intense learning journey, but interesting journey. And we try to add little additional value with the help of youth leaders. And that's what we are going. That's why we are doing what we are doing. Youth leaders, when did we start our first meeting? Do you all remember? Go ahead, Zanera, this is not a normal meeting. You can shoot your answer. Don't raise your hand. Shoot. Always the first person to raise their hand is Zunaira Ahmed, youth leader Zunaira Ahmed. Everywhere. Any question you ask, even Elon Musk may not have the answer. She will have. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry? Yeah, 1st March was the orientation meeting, but the opening meeting was on the 24th of March, if I remember. If you remember, we had some discussions, we had demo speeches, everything. And today we are on 11th of May. So just little under 2 months. Okay? But I think we had some 10 formal meetings, a lot of mentoring sessions, a lot of practice sessions, 52 speeches, evaluations, table topics, elections. Some of you won, some of you lost, some of you were a little sentimental. A lot of things happened, and lots of mentoring back and forth, including the mentoring for your parents. Some of your parents also got mentored, right? You can be honest, nothing will happen to you. Okay, so seems to have we have gone through a lot of things in this 10 weeks. Does it appear so? Yes? A lot of intense learning moments that you have gone through. Always YLPs like this. And what did you experience through all this? If you don't answer, I will ask Zonera. Yes, Aisha. Very quickly. Change. What else? Let me answer on your behalf. You must have experienced many things, definitely friendships, lot of preparations, lot of practices, lot of presentations, corrections. Your mentors must be giving it back, disappointments, failures, happiness, sadness. Some of you went through tearful moments, right? Very many more experiences. Everything you went through, you were always under a constant pressure to deliver more. I know some of you felt, Uncle, what else is there? I know some of you felt your international speeches were corrected 2 days before. 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And you all reworked and represented lots and lots of experiences. Right? What are these experiences? I want to call them real accelerated experience building moments or momentum building moments. Did you feel that you were on a pressure ride through this entire 9-10 weeks? I think only some of you looks like. Yes, right? And what is this? What is this feeling? What is this experience that you went through? I'm not going to give you fundas. I'm just going to give, very shortly get into something that is going to talk about you. Okay, you went through the process. This is the process called transformation. That is why we call this grand finale as a grand transformation. What is transformation? Changing for better, right? And how do we change for better? Transformation through learning, transformation through discovery, transformation through self-discovery. Why do we want to do self-discovery? Why do we want to engage in self-discovery, youth leaders? The shooter. Yes, Janira.
So that we know our talents, our skills.
Yes.
Show them to the world.
Yeah, that is the exploration process, that is the discovery process. But what do you find out at the end of the process? When you go through such hard journeys of 9-10 weeks. Yes.
That we are worth of living.
We are worthy living of. Yes, Cheryl. What do we find out at the end of the transformation process, as a self-discovery process? What do we find out? Yes, we can do it for the better, but I'll give one last answer, then I'm going to give the answer. Yes, Rahma Walid.
Well, we know that we are special, we are different, and this what makes the world a better place.
Better is the right word. More or less you are there, but tell me, we are all at the end of the self-discovery process. In the interest of time, we find a better version of ourselves. Right? Don't you? Did you find a better version of yourself? The better you in you. That is what we always find through the transformation process. And I'm telling you, the secret of life, we are a little more senior than you, even not necessarily more intelligent than you. Some of you are more intelligent than us. But at the end of a transformation process, you always find a better you in you. Not just you, youth leaders, we too. You know, all the organizers, all the program coordinators, all your mentors, all the workshop presenters, parents, moms and dads, find a better version of themselves when they go through this journey. Let's be honest. Dads. I know many dads privately agreed with you, they learned. Okay? The moms, did you find a better version of yourself? A lot of hands going up. It's not just from you, it is also a learning journey for all the partners of Youth Leadership Program. And therefore, I want to share with you one thing. What we are going to do today is I am going to share what we learned from some of the youth leaders here. By the way, even judges are learning, but I am not supposed to say this here along the program. But we learned so much from you. I want to share some of the youth leaders from whom we observed something very special and what we learned from them as the YLP team. And I want to leave a message I have 3 little stories about some of you. I am seeing a lot of inquisitive eyes. Who is that going to be? Right? I wish I can talk about all the 26 youth leaders, but Uncle Palniraj will kick me out of the stage for want of time. Right? You don't want that to happen, right? You're ready? So I'm just going to talk about some of the selected youth leaders. I'm not saying that the disclaimer here, I have a disclaimer here. What is disclaimer? You want to say something before, a foreword that, it is not because of something. Okay, that is something which will prevent you from assuming things. I'm going to share some youth leaders whom we felt we've had a lot of things to learn from as Toastmasters, as distinguished Toastmasters, as program organizers, and what we learned from them by observing them through this program. By saying this, I'm not saying they are the best. No. Youth leaders, I don't want you to go into that. But I'm just selecting some of them. Okay, and I'm not saying that because they are very close to me and they are my mentees or something. There is only one mentee among this group. Most of them I have not even met outside the YLP. But let me quickly, do you want me to tell you the story? Do you want to share the story about these youth leaders? What we learned from them? Who are these people? They look familiar, right? Their faces. You don't know? Youth leader Sahana and youth leader Rahma Walid. Youth leader Sahana, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to embarrass you in front of so many people. Don't worry. You attend this program, right? You travel from where to attend this program? Where do you live? Can you be a little louder? You live in Dhahran. And how long does it take for you to travel to this elite meeting? Well, little more than 1 hour. And back and forth, it takes about 2.5 hours. Okay? And Rahma, youth leader Rahma Walid, where do you live? And how long does it take for you to, more or less the same time, 1 hour? 1 hour. So these two youth leaders, they travel, literally coming and going back, including the time for them to prepare and go back. They spend 2.5 hours to come and attend this program. And sometimes we have 2 meetings in a week. And sometimes they travel to meet the mentors who are also unfortunately in Jubail. Especially a boring mentor like me is there in Jubail. They travel for 2.5 hours for a 1 hour meeting with the mentor. Rahma Walid also does that. Now what does this mean? And even their parents are also traveling with them. And they go, it's not that, I'm not just talking about the travel back and forth. And they go to the schools. They have early schools. When they go home, they have to prepare for the school. They sleep late, wake up early. Sometimes 3 to 4 times in a week they travel. Okay? They all have definitely reasons to find an excuse not to travel. Right? They can say, my school curriculum is more important, my studies are more, this is getting spoiled, I don't know what I am learning from this elite youth leaders program. But they stuck on to this, both Rahma and Sahana. And what I saw in them, their perseverance to really stay on and travel the distance. Okay? Sometimes in life, it is so very important for you to travel the distance. If you have to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, you need to travel the distance. You need to travel that extra mile in your life for you to make extraordinary achievements. If you have to have a spectacular success, if you want to have spectacular lives and spectacular careers, you need to travel those extra miles and spend those long efforts on those extra miles for you to really take the fruits out of those efforts. If Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Virat Kohli or Roger Federer or Nelson Mandela have been extraordinarily successful, it's because all those people worked so hard while everyone around them was probably sleeping or watching TV or doing something, entertainment. And these people, for us youth leaders, you need to always be ready to travel the extra mile in your life. Now, you may be asking, what is this extra mile that I am talking about? Does it come to your mind? What is this extra mile? Yeah, always, as usual, girls want to know the answers. This side is a little challenging always. Okay, we all cross normal miles in our life every day. We all wake up in the morning, get ready, go to school or go to office, do our work, come back, do things that we have to do at home, watch TV, spend time with family, do what we have to eat and all that, and we go to sleep. These are all the normal miles that we cross every day. But if you have to do something, if you have a determination, if you have the focus, like what youth leader Sahana and youth leader Rahma Walid did, to travel 2.5 hours or 3 hours take such hard, demanding journeys to learn something which they felt is something valuable is available in this. Let me go there, work hard and take it away with me. That is an extra mile journey. If you have to really be ultra successful like those Uber successful people, like even the founder of Uber, because I'm mentioning that name, you need to be ready to spend extra miles in your life all through, not just in this YLP. Always remember this. Okay? And we are very proud that we had this. There are so many wonderful things about all the 26 youth leaders. I'm just using these 2 youth leaders as an example on the need for us to always be ready to travel the distances in our life. All the great things that have been done by great people in this world have been things achieved through great journeys, great distances, extra mile journeys and extraordinary efforts. Always keep it up. That is what they call as perseverance. Does that word, have you heard about Abdul Siddiqui is one of the English professors of elite YLP, one of our wonderful youth leaders. What is perseverance? Persistence to a chosen course of action with lots and lots of determination. Always carry that value in you. Okay? Now, I'm going to share the next, and also before I leave, you should never accept your limits. These 2 youth leaders had enough reasons to not to travel. but they traveled and really gained what they gained. Our limits, what we perceive as our limits, have to be put to test. Most of you probably felt that you're not going to go on a public stage and deliver a speech. That was a perception. And all of you are going to compete in different categories today. This is a reality. Okay? So do not accept the limits. Who are these people? I have a complaint against these people. Do you want me to tell you what they did? Wonderful. Again, I learned something different from these youth leaders. As elite, again, I am speaking on behalf of all the elite YLP organizers and the Toastmasters who supported elite YLP. I have to tell you something that happened between them and me. They are not my mentees. I have not given them any inputs on any speech or any corrections. Even though they have been asking me for some corrections, some feedback, I am guilty of not getting back to them, but I promise I will give it back to you. One day I got a message from Hadia, youth leader Hadia, saying that, Mr. DTM Peri, what do you think about my speech? What are the areas of improvement, right? And just for you to note down, my speech is the orange tree speech, so that I don't start wondering who is this. And I definitely liked it. Now, how many of us reach out to seeking help? How many of us reach out to others to tell me how good I am? Unless you are reaching out to your mentor or somebody with whom she reached outside that circle. Like one of the world champion of public speaking said, reaching out, many of us do think that is a sign of weakness. But reaching out is a sign of strength. If we don't reach out, we will not really reach out in life. And that's what youth leader Hadia did. I want to give her an applause. The other smart looking guy, who is that? Muhammad Walid. A very talented youth leader. A youth leader who has, in my opinion, who has got one of the best dictions. I am not biasing the judges before the speeches, so I am not going to describe more than this. Wonderful, very talented youth leader. He had a speech and he sent his speech to me a couple of times, even though I am not his mentor. Uncle, can you really look at what are the areas that I need to improve upon? Can you give it back to me with your suggestions? I am yet to give it back to you. This is, again, the same reaching out principle. As youth leaders, as you are going to complete this journey, a new journey will start in your life, right? You have many more miles to go in your life, hundreds and thousands and millions of miles that you have to go. But always remember one thing in your life: the one quality, the one value, the one habit that you need to have it in you is to ask. It's extremely important. ASK, ask. Do you know the definition of ask? A-S-K. Always seek. See, we have a person who is always seeking knowledge. DTM Khalid. Ask means always seek knowledge. It is so very important in our life to go out and seek and clarify what we want to clarify. Sometimes it may be stupid questions. Ask those stupid questions. Don't hesitate. Reach out to people whom you want to reach out for adding value to yourself in life. It is so very important. That hesitation, time clicks. We all have limited time in this earth, right? It doesn't wait for us. Reach out and seek. And also, sometimes I see many people, like even probably people sitting in this, sometimes I've had so many questions as a student, but I had this hesitation to reach out and ask questions. And very important thing in life is you need to know, because it is coming under the questions, and ask. Most important thing, I want a little bit talk about this. You all need to know what you don't know. It is so very important in life. Does it sound meaningful? Do you understand this? You need to know. You need to know what you don't know. But most of us don't know what we don't know. That's the problem. This world, that's a big problem. It's not only in youth leadership program. I am seeing DTM James smiling. It is also so much in Toastmasters. There are a lot of Toastmasters here. It is there in the corporate world. It is there in the banking world. It is there with the CEOs. People don't know what they don't know. Because they don't initially get into this habit of needing to know what you don't know. I'm not trying to do tongue twister here. It's very important. Always, every stage of your life, you need to know what you don't know, and you need to get to know what you need to know very quickly. Okay? We talked about you need to know what you don't know, and ask questions for that, and seek answers. And those answers are going to give you lots and lots of clarification in your life. And those clarity that you build within yourself is going to take you into paths of excellence. And always you will be able to connect with people. If the moment you think, you will be able to speak, if you have great clarity. Some of those wonderful speakers, some of those great speakers, great philosophers, what was so different between them and us? Whether be it Aristotle or Socrates or Nelson Mandela or Mahatma Gandhi, they were able to translate what they think into great words very quickly and very clearly. Why? Because they always asked, and they never hesitated to ask. If you don't, there is also another important problem. We talked about people who don't know what they don't know. There are also people who don't want to know what they don't know. You understand? I think senior toast, it is little too mature a concept for you, but that is a concept that we face in real life. Let me tell you, if people really go and find out and get to know what they need to know, this entire world is going to be many, many times more productive and more efficient, and this world will be a much more peaceful place because people don't know what they don't know. So ask questions. That's very, very important. Okay? I talked about the world. This world will be a better place if people know what they don't know and find out how they have to know what they need to know. Okay? Ask. The third set of leaders, the next story. Another set of dangerous characters, right? Who are these people? I did, by the way, I have no deal with them for promoting them or presenting them. If youth leaders, any of you think, they don't know that I'm going to present these pictures. For all of you, it's a surprise. Probably you must be wondering why Uncle DTM Peri is presenting my picture. I want to talk to you about the story behind these youth leaders very quickly. Okay, it's not about the way they speak. It's not about how they lead everything in this youth leadership program, but is the transformation that these two youth leaders have gone through personally. Some of the Toastmasters, I'm telling you, this gentleman, that handsome gentleman on the right side, is youth leader Misbah Saeed, and with the permission of his wonderful mother who is sitting there, let me tell you a story, and he shared with everyone in the icebreaker speech, right, Misbah? He had an accident. He faced a nasty accident. How many years ago? He met with a very bad accident 5 years ago, and I think a couple of his friends died in it, right? And he saw it with his own eyes. He saw them dying, and so many others hurt badly. Since then, he has been very badly affected psychologically, and I think he's gone into some kind of a reclusion mode. I know the story. They talked to me. His mom once found me in this Lulu market, and she came running to me. You are the guy who keeps talking about Toastmasters always in Jubail, right? Right, ma'am? Right? Yes. I'm not bluffing. I'm not exaggerating. She's sitting here. She says, why don't you help my son as elite Toastmasters? Let me tell you, today, at the end of this journey, I am seeing Misbah Saeed as one of the most forthcoming youth leaders, who's so very well spoken. He's got a fantastic diction. Again, I don't want to bias the judging today. Okay, I can't talk more about it. It is so heartening to see this transformation that kids enjoy through this YLP. When you give your heart, when you give your passion, when you show a lot of commitment as Toastmasters, this is what happens to youth leaders. Not only Toastmasters, the parents, they work so hard. I'm going to talk about a wonderful parent of the other beautiful looking lady here, Sarah Allah. Where is she? Yes, she's there. Wonderful. Sarah Allah and her dad. I can say a little story. That from day one, with your permission again, I think when you took your little baby steps on the stage. I have always seen you, my God, how am I going to finish and how am I going to jump out of this stage? Right? Let's be honest, right? You always had a feeling, but I saw one man sitting out there with his eyes popping out, please perform. And that was her dad. And again, a couple of weeks back, she was an evaluation winner in a contest. Sometimes I have seen her getting out of the stage almost with tears. And her dad used to come and hold her, encourage her. And that is the support. That is the mutual support and camaraderie between a family this YLP can inject. Which otherwise doesn't happen. Everything happens within the closed door, but it happens everything in the open. Today she is a great beneficiary of this transformation because she went for it. She traveled the distance and she asked what she had to ask. And today she has beaten her fears. Both these people. This happens in real life. There are different forms of fears we come across. Not just as students, not just as youth leaders, even as Toastmasters. Many of us have fears within us. What do we have? We have to beat our fears. We have to build our beliefs. And we have to break the barriers. Let's always, I think we discussed about fears and failures before in the opening presentations. And we talked about darkness. How do we handle those fears? A fear like fear of darkness. How do we handle? How do we overcome fears? Youth leaders. Yes, Walid. By facing them. Wonderful. Wonderful. You need to define your fears, what they are. Do they have? Are they real or are they imaginary? Are they perceptional? And how to handle. You always get help from this world. You're always there are people to clarify and support you, whatever be the form of fear in this world. Only thing is, you need to ask, go out, define them, face them, and fight them to really get. And these two youth leaders have been products of this process during this 10 weeks. Youth leader Misbah and youth leader Sarah Allah. We really learned. And I want to thank all these youth leaders for being nice little characters in our story for what I wanted to share. Thank you. The copyright belongs to you, but it is not just these 6 youth leaders. All the 26 youth leaders that we had 26, yes. We had all the 26 youth leaders. I can talk about every one of them for about 3-4 minutes, but it's going to take a long time. All of them wonderful. All of you have so much of talent, so much of variety of talent, like a rainbow. Every one of you is precious. Okay, wonderful. And we have seen the transformation in every one of you. Okay. Now, what do we do before, going forward? And today you have gathered the special skills of articulation, leadership, managing people, networking, parliamentary procedures, evaluation, table topics, so many things, right? Did you enjoy the election process? Did you enjoy campaigning for yourself? Did you ever think that you would campaign for yourself going around and at this stage? Right? And you enjoyed everything, and this must have definitely given you new horizons of possibilities. It must have given you new hopes. It must have given you a belief that you can believe in you much more than you ever believed that you could. Right? Carry on from here. Move on from here. Don't stop here. This is just a beginning. Today you will enjoy the show. There will be end of the show, there will be trophies. And before you start your next set of journeys, I just want to talk about 2 things very quickly. Remember this always. Many of you will become, after a few years, some of you are going to be doctors, engineers, scientists. I don't want to use this word doctors, engineers again and again, because Jubail is such a biased society of engineers. Right? There are a lot of guilty people sitting here, so they are not acknowledging. There's one guy, thank you. But there are so many careers. You can become whatever that you want to become. But always remember one thing. All these days, until you pass out your school, okay, it is all your virtues, your capabilities, your abilities will carry you forward. Do you remember DTM Jacob Mangal's workshop? The last workshop. Very interesting, right? Very different. What did you learn from that workshop? Group discussion. Yes, Rahma Walid. Excellent. That is real life. If you have to succeed in real life, you need to always try to manage the community around you. That is what we as Toastmasters tried doing. These big leaders who are sitting here are experts at community and society and people handling. Real life is about handling community. Leadership, in leadership, community is a very, very key element. Not only in leadership, in life, community is very key element. Look at the different people who helped you in this YLP. Who all helped you? Shoot. Mentors. Sorry? Toastmasters. Workshop presenters. Who else? See, give them a big round of applause. Your parents. Most of your parents came and sat through the YLP meetings, workshops, which they have not done in decades. I definitely know some of the dads, I don't know about the moms, I don't think dads would have sat through the classroom exercises like this, right? Yes. But they did it for you. Now I'm asking you one thing. What do you do for your community, even at this age? How many of you, on your own, every day in the morning, when you see your parents, go on your own, give them a hug and say, I love you? 10%. Right? Please. Okay, thank you. Thanks for being honest. I know you'll be honest as elite youth leaders. Do it every day. At least a few days in a week. You will see changes in them. You will see them pouring their love towards you. Some of them, may not be very, their parents are always not nice people, I agree. Right? But go, show them the love, hug them. This is for parents. And this theory can be extendable in real life. If you have to be successful in your careers, if you have to be successful in whatever professions, even if you want to sweep the floor, I don't want you to sweep the floor outside, at your home is fine. Even if you have to connect with people, you need to make the people feel that you care for them. Do you know there is a saying that people don't care to know how much you know until they know how much you care. Let me repeat for you. Some of you know, people don't care to know how much you know until they know how much you care. This is such a profound philosophy in life. We are practicing managers, corporate leaders, and we have to practice this. We cannot differentiate between a very excellent guy, the excellent scorer, and an average scorer and a bad scorer. We have to go along with them. You have to think for them and think very much for them. Always. Always keep this community orientation in your mind all through your life. Your teachers, your friends, your mentors, Toastmasters, the parents, wherever you move along. Okay? Always connect with them. That will really translate all your learnings into success. And second very important thing is what you did in this program. Always invest in yourself. What you did during this 8-10 weeks, probably you would have invested at least 10 hours as learning time outside your school activity every week. Right? Do you agree or no? Maintain this. Whatever, even when you become engineers or doctors or whatever, always maintain this. 15 to 20%, if possible, 10 to 15% of your daily time should be a self-investment time. Invest in yourself. Get into the process of deep interior excavation. That only when you do that, you find out a better version of yourself. To find the better you in you. Keep that as a passion. Life is going to be wonderful. I mean, in real life, you are going to be meeting a lot of disruptions in life. Many things will keep changing. Artificial intelligence will come and take away. For example, some new technology change will come and take away. Education is always the inoculation against disruption. And today's world, you guys are blessed with. We didn't have this kind of forums like youth leadership and many other things. But today you have this. Make use of it. Go for, don't stop with this. Go for other workshops. Go for opportunities that will help you improve your personalities, your public speaking and your leadership skills. You are all talented, right? Is there anyone who is not talented here out of the 26? All of you are talented. But how do you convert this talent into a mastery? Do you understand this question? Can you give an example of a person well known who converted his talent into mastery? Yes, Aisha. Sorry? Yes, J.K. Rowling, wonderful example. Who else? Wonderful. Excellent. One more from this side. Walid. Because you raised your hand. What do you think of, how many of you, what about Virat Kohli and Lionel Messi? Yeah, they are masters of their area, right? How did they convert their talent into mastery? Yes, Zainab. Or Dara, sorry. By practicing again and falling in love with your talents. Please fall in love with your talents, whatever talent that you may have. And work on those talents on a day-to-day basis and convert them. If you do, then you automatically become a master of the talent. Many of us don't do that, and that is why we have talents of singing. I could have become a great singer. That's what some people say, but I know you won't believe it, because I didn't invest. I didn't invest enough efforts. Okay, so invest efforts on improving your talents every day, because the biggest problem facing today's generation, as I am going to close, you are all products of. I heard from my daughter that you are all products of Generation Z. Yeah, Generation Z. For the benefit of the Toastmasters, anyone knows the answer of Generation Z? I think any youth leaders want to help me? They're children born late 90s and the first decade of 2000. They consider themselves more adaptable, more globalized. They don't want values and views and beliefs thrust upon them. They want to develop their own values and systems and so on. If you go Google, you can read about Generation Z. Okay, so you're all products of Generation Z. You've got more opportunities. You've got so many corridors. The careers and growth paths are changing. But one thing is disturbing. There are so many avenues for distraction. You know that. Okay. And just remember one, addiction to distraction will cause death of creative production. Be very careful. You're all very talented, varieties of talent. Keep investing your time on developing your talents and converting them into masteries, and be careful about this distraction. Don't get into this distraction. I'm saying this on behalf of your parents. Some of them told me, please tell this. Okay? Wonderful, as Elite YLP, we consider all the 26 youth leaders that it's been a great honor, great pleasure, and a lot of learning experience to be learning along with you during this YLP. And I wish you, on behalf of Elite YLP, lots and lots of good luck. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for your patience. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, DTM Peri. I'm pretty sure everybody had something wonderful to take away from that presentation.